Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Lalantia show. Today, I'm coming on to talk about something totally different from what I've ever talked about on here before. And I'm going to be talking about the Healy device. So the Healy device is a frequency device, and it is meant to it sends frequencies, but it also can read your frequencies. So when you send the oops, my screen wants to go black and I don't want to have to reset everything. So anyways, when I can scan you, so I can scan your aura, I can scan your resonance, and it will tell me what is coming up as where you need healing or you need balancing. We need to be careful with the word healing just because of, reasons, but it sends energy or vibrations or frequencies to help bring balance to those areas. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to talk about kind of the basics of doing a distance session. So with me today, I have Nathalie. So hello, Nathalie.
Hi, Lalantia.
So Nathalie and I actually, just a little sidebar here, Nathalie and I have a group together on Facebook called Sorceress's Circle. It's an amazing space. So if you vibe with our energy, you should join us in that group. But we also have a YouTube channel here as well, which I'll leave the link below, where we do a lot of pick-a-pile card readings and we talk about different topics. So we have conversations about lots of different topics regarding spirituality. So today's talking about the Healy is kind of like there's scientific stuff behind it, but it's also trusting in the infinite power of the universe, because a lot of people have a hard time believing in it, even though a lot of scientists and doctors and stuff stand behind it. There's a lot of proof in the pudding, is what I like to say. Once you use it, you begin to understand that there is proof in it. So when I use this device on myself, I can use it with like these wristbands. See, there's a little button thing right there. So I can hook up these wires to it, and then it'll send the frequencies directly to me. But because I'm using it for distance sessions a lot of times, then I'm not using these, and so the frequencies, the energy is going into the quantum field. So when it's going into the quantum field, it goes by intention. So I'll talk about the putting everybody into the app so that they're in the device and everything to be a part of, so the energy knows where to go. But when you hold the intention that the frequencies are going to that person, and that person is in the receptive state and is intending to receive those frequencies, then that's where they go, because there is no the time and space is an illusion. So Nathalie is in Belgium. I'm in the Pacific Northwest of America. We're clear on the opposite sides of the world, almost the opposite sides of the world. And so it is, obviously we're very far apart from each other. So it doesn't really matter though, because time and space is an illusion. So I can just hold the intention, Nathalie can hold the intention, and the energy all goes where it needs to go. So I'm going to talk a bit about like the basics of how this actually works. So when you get the Healy, I'm not going to go into like all of the different like levels of it, but I have the Healy Resonance, which is the highest level as far as the software that comes with it. So I have everything on it. If you don't have the resonance on your Healy, you're not able to do distance. Everything has to be with an actual connection to your body. So then you would have to use the quartz. And I spent 2 days not having the resonance, and I upgraded because I realized how valuable it is to have that ability to do the aura scans, because you can't do the aura scan without resonance, but also to be able to do it distantly. And I can do it distantly even for myself, even though I have the device itself. It's hard to move around when you are hooked up to wires, although I have found different ways of doing that. It can be a little bit of a pain when you're trying to cook and you have these wires hooked up to you and stuff. But I do actually prefer to be hooked up. But these things, you feel the energy so much that sometimes it's almost uncomfortable. You have to turn down the frequency a lot and have it quite low, because you feel, I was talking to somebody else who has one, and she's like, it's like the needle stabs into your wrist, And so when the frequency is down, then it's not as much. But if you do it without these, then you can receive a higher frequency. You just have to it's going into the quantum field before it arrives to you. So when you have these, it just goes directly to you. Or when you use these, which I don't use these anymore because they just don't even stick on my body. I used them when I went to sleep last night, and they ended up falling asleep or falling off of me really fast because they don't stay sticky for very long. You can buy more and they're not very expensive. But anyways, I love being able to do the distance sessions. So today I have already entered Nathalie into the device, but I'm going to walk you through it so that you kind of know how that works. Since I am doing sessions with people as part of our sessions together. So I use the device in correlation with everything else I'm doing. So with the channeling that I'm doing, this as I'm bringing spirit guides forward, or any messages from spirit, or any healings that I'm doing on my own or with spirit or spirit guides or whatever energy is coming forward. So we may go into it and it turns out that there's like a unicorn that comes forward and is doing healing, or maybe we're guided to go into meditation and go to the water and connect with the mermaids, and so maybe the mermaids are doing healing as we are working through the frequencies that are being sent with the device. So it's just to add to everything else that I'm doing and not meant to really be on its own. All right, so everything turned off in my long speaking here. So let me reset it here. Okay, so you have to have the apps on your phone. So because I have Resonance, there are 2 different apps. So with the Resonance, you can go in and do a scan. So you have the aura analysis and the resonance analysis. So with the aura analysis, it actually does an aura scan. So when you click that, then you have the clients or all of the people or animals or things. I have my bank account. You can send frequencies to your bank account. I have it set to send frequencies to my bank account. I have it set to send frequencies to my business on its own. I have I have my dogs in it. I have my kids in it, of course, and of course myself, obviously. And then my clients, as I work with them, they get added to this as well. So Nathalie is in here. So I'm just going to click her name, and then it does ask, you are supposed to add a photo when you put people in or things in, but you don't actually have to, because it's not reading the photo. It's not actually reading the photo to read your aura or anything like that. So if, like, for my business and for my bank account, obviously I'm not going to have a picture of my bank account. I mean, I suppose you could, but I just hold the intention that the vibration of my bank account is there, but I just take a picture of something. You have to put in a picture. So I think I just took a picture of my desk or something, and so there's something there. But if you're not doing sessions with somebody where you can take a picture of them, you don't have to have it. You just want to have that intention. It also asks you to record their vibration. Now you can't, obviously they can't hold the device in their hand, because we're supposed to hold it in your right hand when you do it. So when you're setting it for a distance session, you hold the device in your hand and you set the intention that it is for them and that the frequencies that it records their vibration. So it's just about intention. Remember, intention is very, very powerful. Now, once they're in there, and you can put in as much information as you want to, but the information that you put in for each person, it doesn't have to be a lot. So for Nathalie, I put in her name, her birth date, and her place of birth, but I didn't put in her address or her email or any of that information, because it's just to find her, and I know that my intention is enough. It's not really necessary to have all of those details. So whatever resonates with you, you kind of find, what works for you. And then once you go in and you want to do an aura recording, and that's what I'm going to do first, an aura analysis, then you hit that aura analysis, and then you're going to hit the button that says record aura, and it just starts recording the aura. So you can just hold the intention that it's going to Nathalie and recording her aura. And there it is. So remember that it's not actually using the picture itself. It's easy to kind of jump to that conclusion. The picture itself isn't really relevant, but it does show the aura as the chakras. So the aura always comes as the color of the chakras, and in reality your aura does not really look like that in my experience, and I read aura. So but this shows you which it gives you an idea of kind of what is strong. So we can see the red is really strong, so you're really grounded, your root is really strong. Everything actually looks pretty balanced except for maybe your throat. Like the blue looks a little bit light.
And that's so funny because I actually set the intention to work with my throat right before we came on. So, and I noticed that there was like a light shining on my throat when we were doing a live in our Facebook group. So that's really interesting that that came up. Wow.
Right? It is really interesting. So it's kind of hard to tell just by looking at it though, because sometimes it's hard to tell if it's a lot or not a lot. I would definitely say that the throat looks very light at this moment, but we can do an analysis now that will actually scan through and kind of point out which chakras are needing some balancing. So it comes up as the crown, the forehead, and the throat. The throat is the lowest at 52%.
Oh
So,
my God, that's so cool.
so the root is really strong at 95, the sacral 94%, the solar plexus is at 85%, the heart at 95%. You're super balanced. Your crown is even at 85%, which is not bad at all. So it's just picking the three that are the lowest. So then the forehead, the third eye is at 69%, and the throat at 52%. So now we're going to want to interpret what is going on. So you can hit interpret and it talks about the different chakras, but we actually want to go deeper because we want to know specifically for you, right? So then we're going to hit start analysis for it to go deeper. And so the intention that says on here is my aura is strong and stable. So we can hold that intention like it says here, or you can hold another intention if there's something else that you want to go deeper with. But we'll just hold the intention of my aura is strong and stable. And then as you hold that intention, I'm going to click the button start analysis. So we'll both just hold that intention that your aura is strong and stable, and it will bring up what is coming up that makes it not strong and stable. Okay. So I'm clicking that and it's recording it now. So just hold that intention. So that one went through really, really fast. Sometimes it takes longer, but it was really fast that time. Okay, so now it shows all of the different things that are coming up. So I'll read through it a little bit just to give you an idea, but I will also send it through to you. So it has actions right there. And so I'm going to hit the button actions, show PDF. And then it has a little thingy up here, and I can just send it, and I'll send it through Messenger since we just did Messenger and you're coming up. So then you'll have the analysis, you can read through it. So I believe in doing this with other work as well. So sometimes we don't know what some of the things that come up really mean, but it does give us an idea of what to focus on. And as I read through it, I'll probably have more examples. But what it's going to do is, like if you're reading through it and it says something like you have a mother wound, then you know, and it's in your throat or in your heart or whatever chakra it's associated with, then you know, okay, I need to look at what is coming up for me around my heart and my mother, and what are my emotions around my mother. Maybe I'll have some better examples as I read through here, but then you know that you can journal on it, you can go into it on your own. But also sometimes it's not about figuring it out, and it's just allowing it to do a gentle healing on its own, because we will send vibrations as well. Those frequencies will help to stabilize and bring in the energy to bring it back into back into balance. But like your throat chakra, for example, because it was so low, it shows that there's probably going to be some deeper work that you're going to want to look at on your own as well, and about speaking your truth and any fears that you have around that. But this scan is going to go pretty deep, I guess. So are you comfortable with me reading out some of the stuff that's coming up for you?
Yeah, I'm already like too excited to hear it myself. So yeah.
Okay, so the brow chakra, so the third eye, um, it's it says that its present state is blue. The present state description is yin yang, which we know is balance, consciousness. It is now time to separate oneself from the gender roles and apply all parts of the mind to integrate. The lack of consciousness is clearly being felt. This is a chance for spiritual growth. So the desired state is complete and gentle healing of subject's perception and intuition by strengthening the color indigo and the brow chakra perception and intuition. So then it would be indigo. The themes of the desired state as the themes of the brow chakra are perceived harmoniously. So when we send the vibrations, and the vibrations will go for all of these, it will include, like as it goes through, the frequencies are going to be for this particular chakra. The themes of brow chakra are perceived harmoniously. So each chakra can come up more than once, though. It can be multiple things that are showing up in the chakras. So this is just the top ones that are coming up. So that was at 91%. That's a pretty high percentage that is showing things that, you know, that importance of this particular thing. So maybe something around gender roles is important to look into. I know that you talked about something earlier that made me think that I kind of thought about.
That's so funny. I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah. So it's funny because I told Lalantia that I had a conversation with my partner yesterday. And yeah, it was really interesting. It was kind of confronting and it was kind of a conflict that needed to be resolved. So I definitely feel like that duality of like me and my boyfriend and how these roles play into each other. So wow, that's so cool that that came up.
Yeah, and it does, like, it will be super relevant to things that are going on right now. So if you have a conversation about something right beforehand, then it's likely that will come up in the reading. So the second one that came up and is at 90%, so it's a really high percentage, is the throat chakra. And the present state is violent, almost said violent red, violet red. And so we know that's not the right color, but the present state description is the person always had to decide if they were allowed to love the father or mother. The person is missing the experience of being allowed to love the parents as a unit, or the person has made the experience to have to mediate between the parents. So we know that there's some stuff like,
That's so interesting. Wow.
right?
Like, how does it even, yeah. And you know, I'm the oldest, so I guess that I always felt like that responsibility upon me. And we've talked about this a couple of times. So
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, it is really interesting. So the desired state is complete and gentle healing the issues of communication, expression, and the unconditional acceptance by enhancing the color blue in the throat chakra. Communication, expression, and unconditional acceptance, blue. So then the next one is at 89%. So it's a pretty high percentage as well. And it is the third eye chakra again. And the present state is red, which we know is not the right color for the third eye chakra. So just one aspect of it, right? Because there's lots of things that are going on in our chakras. So this one is a person has learned to identify themselves with the physical form or the spirit is injured. The person has been forced into a role that was expected of them. The mother and later women had expectations how this person should act as in the projection of a role.
What? That is so crazy. Like, that is so crazy. Like, I totally resonate with that. Like, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Okay. Yeah. And sometimes like we read these and it's like, I didn't really think that before, but I kind of get that. Sometimes we'll read it and it's like, whoa, I had no idea. So sometimes the wording can throw us off a little bit too. So just to be aware of that at times that, oh, that wording is kind of weird, or I don't know what that means. Even sometimes we don't know what it means. But if you don't know what it means, then just having it in your awareness and maybe it'll come up later, or you can dive into it in a different way. Or maybe the frequencies will just bring balance to it and it'll go away. So then the next one is the crown chakra at 81%. And This one says the person has a strong knowledge of the existence of the soul. They have experienced God and are secure in their faith. So that sounds pretty good, right? Like, I don't understand
Yeah.
what the bad part of that is, but it says the desired state is complete and gentle healing of topics God, soul, empathy, and unity by enhancing the color violet in the crown chakra. So I would just say that maybe like it can use a little boost in that area and strengthen that, because you already believe it, but you're just going to strengthen that energy there. The crown chakra comes
Yeah,
up
but
in. Okay, go ahead.
because it's so interesting. No, you first. You say that, and I'll say it after you read this one.
Well, I just thought it was really interesting that it comes up again, because this one says that there's orange in the crown chakra and the person doesn't believe in a higher power.
You
So
know, that's so funny. That's so funny, because I wanted to say that, like, that is so crazy that that came up, because for the longest of times, I didn't believe in God. And for the longest of times, I didn't really know how to feel about, like, do we have a soul? Does heaven and hell exist? You know, I was never really a religious person. So I only started to open up to even like the thought of God when I came into my spiritual awakening. So that's really interesting, because I wanted to mention that actually. And I think it's also really interesting because before we went on, I did a meditation and I asked my guides to step in and support me in whichever area I needed. And it was actually an activation on my crown that they were doing. So this is so interesting.
yeah, so I think that it's just like helping to like boost that activation and that energy there. So any remaining energy that is around not having a belief or not believing in a higher power, that bit that is still left there, it's clearing a lot of that out right now. And it sounds like it's happening in other ways as well, with like with your guides coming forward around that.
Oh man, I'm blown away by this. Like,
It's pretty amazing, huh? So the next one that came up is the third eye again. And it says that the present state is white. So there's some white in your third eye. The color white is the color of avoidance. The person knows that they avoid to live one or more of the themes of this chakra.
oh my God, that's so crazy. That's too crazy. You know, it's so funny because I actually received some intuitive guidance where I felt like I could develop that more because I am very clairvoyant. And I got the message that I could be seeing so much more, but I should be working with that, you know? And it comes up like, what? I even got that message today. Like, how, man, like, this is so validating. This is so validating to me.
Right? It's amazing, isn't it? It's like, how does it do this? How does it know? And there's still more. So we have the crown chakra again. This one is at 66%. So there's some yellow in your crown chakra. And it comes up with the God and soul again. So the person has a mental idea of God and their soul. So that mental idea. So the desired state would be complete and gentle healing of topics God, soul, empathy, and unity by enhancing the color violet in their crown chakra. God, soul, empathy, and unity, violet.
It's so amazing. I'm like, I need one. I need one right now.
It's amazing. I love it. And imagine like being able to do this like every day or like every few days and knowing exactly where to focus your healing. Like besides it sending vibrations for healing, you can you know where to focus your own healing and your own attention on that healing. So the next one that comes up is the throat chakra. It's at 62%. And this one is indecisions. There is always a decision of being allowed to love the father or mother. Because of this, there is a decision of whom to listen to, the father or the mother, not being allowed or not allowing both at the same time.
Wow. You know, it's funny that there's so much coming up regarding my mother and my father. Like, that's so crazy, right? Because I mean, my father is in spirit right now, and it's so funny because I always like imagine that. I even told my boyfriend this a time ago. Like, it's so weird because I forget to look at the stuff that happened before he passed, because I'm so used to the situation that he's not here anymore. Although I have created a new relationship with him, I often forget to look at the things when that came up when he was still here. So this is definitely a message for me to start looking at that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it came up, I know a few weeks ago when we had talked, it came up then as well about looking at some of that stuff. So I guess you're just getting that again, that importance of looking at it.
Yeah.
So the desired state for this one is complete and gentle healing the issues of communication, expression, and unconditional acceptance by enhancing the color blue in the throat chakra. Communication, expression, unconditional acceptance, blue. So the throat chakra, again, and this is the last one. So this one is the person expresses individuality, uniqueness, a gift to the world. The person communicates with words and gestures. Living is easy. So I guess this is just expanding in that energy. It's interesting that it comes up in this way. Sometimes I don't understand like why some of the things come up the way that they do. But anyways, we'll take it. I guess it is what it is. It's a positive thing that the person expresses individuality, uniqueness, and that you communicate with words and gestures. So it's just expanding that energy. I'm going to take it that way. The desired state is complete and gentle healing the issues of communication, expression, unconditional acceptance by enhancing the color blue in the throat chakra. So now that we have gone through it all, and I sent you the PDF, so you have all of this information, so you can read through it. You can go through it for the next week and just each day maybe focus on one topic. Is there something else that I need to look at regarding this? Now we have the ability to go in and send vibrations, send frequencies to bring more balance to these chakras. Excuse me. So on here, it just has a little button on the bottom that says vibrate. So I hit that. And so it lists all the things that it's going to do, which is basically just along the lines of everything that I had read in that, the desired state. So it's going to send the desired state frequencies to you. So when it does this, it gives you the option of how long you want the frequencies to be. So the shortest amount of time is 1 minute, 20 seconds. And what I have found is that 1 minute and 20 seconds for these frequencies is like a blast of energy. So while you're getting it all really, really fast instead of over a period of time. So while we could put it at 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 12 minutes or 26 minutes or 56 minutes, or we could go up to hours, it goes up to 9 hours almost. So we could do it for much longer. The 1 minute and 20 seconds works really well to do it in short blasts. So we can blast this energy for you for 1 minute, 20 seconds. And that's what we'll do here since we're on a video anyways. We don't want to stay here forever. And you will just hold the intention to receive, and I'll hold the intention for you to receive the vibrations for getting balance in these chakras. So I just click done and then start, and it's sending the frequencies. So you can just sit with it. And actually, as it's sending, I can even receive the frequencies as well, since it's going into the quantum field. And even those who are watching this, the video of this, if you want to sit back and open yourself up to receive these frequencies, you can as well. There's not going to be any harm in it. You'll just receive what is for the highest good. Okay, so it's done sending the frequencies. So how did you feel it?
Yeah, it was like static, kind of like static that was coming towards me. That was so interesting. Like,
It feels different, doesn't it?
yeah.
So I understand like that staticky feeling, like it feels a little bit like electricity.
Yeah.
So for me, it like I can feel it through my whole body when we're doing the specific chakras like this, then I do feel it in the specific chakras. If it's like because we can do like when we do the resonance one, which we can do the resonance on another video because this is like it takes a little while to go through this whole process. So we'll do resonance next time and go into all of the different options because we can do crystal remedies, gem elixirs. So we can send the gem elixirs. I do the gem elixirs every day and it's so amazing. So each feels a little bit different, but when we're doing it this way, it is it's like through the entire body. And I felt a lot like in my head because there's so much regarding the crown and the third eye. I just felt like a lot of energy in my head that was coming forward. And yeah, I just feel like kind of almost like pinpricks on my whole body.
Yeah, I could definitely feel like the vibrating stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool though, isn't it? How you can actually feel the energy of it coming in.
Yeah, like I words. Yeah. That was amazing.
Yeah. So now that Nathalie is in my device, like it will remember her. So I can go in and I can go to the home button on the bottom. And then it says clients and it says lists. So if I would go into lists, then it lists all the things that I went through. So Nathalie is on here as on the list. So somewhere. Maybe it hasn't updated on here yet. My Healy might have just turned off, so it might not be updating. Anyways, then Nathalie is on here, so I can go back to that list and I can run those frequencies again. So then like tomorrow, we could run those frequencies again and add another layer of healing to go along with any healing that she is doing on her own, any journaling and going into the energy of the different things that came up. And then like next week or whenever we feel called to, then we could run another scan and see, are those things still showing up or what else is showing up now? So because I've been experimenting with it, I run this on myself each day and I'll sometimes run the aura scan in the morning and then the aura scan at night and see how much it changes. And I don't always run frequencies, but I might run the aura scan and then I'll not send frequencies and I'll just focus on the healing myself. And then I'll run the aura scan in the evening and I'll see, oh, how much healing did I actually do on my own regarding these particular things. Now, the Healy does so many different things. This is only one aspect because I think the aura scan is like so visually amazing and incredible to just go through it. But this can come up. So if you have chronic pain, so I have chronic pain in my lower back. I don't really talk about it a lot. I just deal with it. It's been part of my life. I have chronic headaches. It comes up as migraine a lot for me when I run the scan. So I can run the pain and psyche together. That they're one. So you can run a scan when we do the analysis. We can do those, but you can run a scan to see what is coming up for pain, and oftentimes it's something different than what you think it is. So anxiety can be causing pain in your body, so it'll actually come up as anxiety when you think, oh, it's my sciatica or it's something else, and in fact it's the anxiety that is causing the pain in your body. So it'll run the frequencies for the anxiety and your pain goes away. I had intense pain last night. I had worked at the bookstore during the day and I had a very busy day on my feet, and so my body was hurting really, really bad. So I ran the pain cycle on me and it was the pain scan on me and it came up as anxiety as number one. The back pain was actually at the bottom of the list. It was on the list, but it was at the bottom of the list. It was all of these other things. So I ran the anxiety and then I think I ran pain. Generally, it can have specific things. So I can do one that's pain that's more specific for my back or for your joints. Joint pain comes up a lot for me. But then you can get really specific. So then when I will go into, so there's two apps on here. So I'll go into the other app, which is the app that you will use these on, or these. and then I will hook myself up to it. So I'll have the direct flow to me. So I'll use that when I'm just like sitting in my chair, and I'll just receive. And last night when I ran that on me, I got super, super sleepy. So I was telling somebody, I actually felt a little bit like I was stoned, like I'd smoked pot or something, but not with like the altered, like my brain didn't feel altered, except for it was very relaxed. So it was like the good part of being stoned, because I don't like my mind being altered. I don't like feeling different in my brain, but I do like the just being relaxed. And I was so relaxed, and it felt like I was gonna fall asleep. But what was funny is my son was with me, and he was, we spent our evenings together. So he's like wanting to be close to me the whole time. And he's sitting like right on the arm of my chair. And as I'm running it, and he's like, well, I want to receive some of those frequencies too. And I was like, okay, open yourself up to receive the frequencies. So he's sitting there with me, and he's like, Mom, why do I feel so relaxed and sleepy? Like he was just like feeling it so much just from being there with me and just opening himself up to receive that. And he has chronic pain. I guess that's another thing that I can mention is he has chronic pain, and he's had it all year. And we have been to the doctor a couple of different times, and it's just been, they can't really do anything. I don't think that they really know what it is. They just say it's inflammation in his muscles and his like chest area, mostly in his chest area. Sometimes it moves around a little bit though. And he does get chronic headaches as well. And so we've been running those pain cycles on him when he gets the pain, and the pain goes away almost immediately, and then it lasts. So we only need to run the pain cycle once a day, or every few days. It's not even every day anymore. And the more we do it, and the thing is that we want to get to the root cause. We don't want to just take away the pain and never get to why the pain is there. So that's why it's amazing to have all of the different cycles to run through. So another thing is that we have allergies. I have an intolerance to gluten. He has an allergy to cats and something else. I'm not sure what it is, maybe dust or something. So we can run, there's a couple of different allergy ones. So there's one for meridians. I'm not sure what the other one is. I can't remember. So we can run the allergies. And I have been eating gluten. I try not to overdo it, but I have been eating gluten just so that I can test it out. And I haven't had any reactions to it. So it seems to be working. I feel like it's kind of like a test that you have to do for a little while to really see if it's working. But his allergies have been doing better as well. So you can also run the cycles for your skin. So it'll come up when you can do a scan that just says the most important things that are coming up. So if you're about to have like a breakout, it'll come up on the scan that you need to run the acne cycle, and it will actually send frequencies to help you with your acne.
Whoa. Like there's so many applications to this,
There really is. There is so much to it. So that's why I think it's like we have to do multiple videos about it. But I think that this is a good like intro. Is still pretty long, but it gives you guys a pretty good idea of how it works. And then next time we'll do another video and we'll go into the resonance scans, and I'll talk about more about the different options that are within the resonance scans. And Nathalie can share how she's feeling about the scans that we have done. So Nathalie, maybe tomorrow I can run the frequencies again that came up from today. Also, since Nathalie is now in there, I can run scans without being on a video call with you. I just have to, I'll ask you permission. I won't just like, oh, I'm going to run a scan on Nathalie. But if like when somebody is working with me or working in a mentorship way or something, and you need scans run on you because of maybe you're going through something really bad or really hard. So I'll tell a quick story. Before I bought mine, I was working with my friend Lisa, who lives in London, and she had me in hers, and we had done a couple sessions together. And one morning I woke up and I was in serious pain. I was like doubled over in bed. I couldn't get up. Like I was in like this, like usually when you have intense pain like that, it passes pretty quickly. It just goes for a minute, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'll be okay. But this was not passing. So I was already messaging her. I didn't message her and ask her to run a scan. I was already messaging her, and I told her that I had the pain, and she said, oh, you want me to run a scan? She ran a scan, she sent the frequencies, and within 10 minutes, the pain was gone, and I was able to function normally and do everything that I needed to do that day when I was on the verge of canceling my entire day because the pain was so bad.
That's so interesting. And you know what? I actually do have something physical that I would like some advice on. So maybe we could use that for the next video.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because, yeah, if you have something chronic that keeps coming up, because the thing, like I had said, that sometimes our chronic pain is caused from like anxiety or something else that's going on in our life. It's not just like our body is like deciding that this is where the pain is. It's usually associated with something else. So I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to also share like gem elixirs and Bach flower remedies. And there's so many different things. I'm excited to do a lot more videos and just kind of go into all of the different options so that people can see. So the other thing that I want to mention is, while I didn't buy this to sell this, it is an option. So you can purchase it. It isn't an MLM. So you are able to purchase through me. You don't have to be a part of the MLM. You can just purchase it and have one for yourself. I'm not like I think that the proof is in the experience. So once you have it, it's going to be like, you know what? Or once you have the experience of the healing or the working with it at all, you kind of realize that, oh my goodness, this would be so beneficial in my life or working with my clients, that kind of thing. Also, I use it in my group. So in my membership group, I use it in there. I used it in the moon circle that we did last night. It sent frequencies as we did the moon circles. So it was just an added layer of frequencies. I did it in elemental manifesting and set frequencies. I think we did the gem elixirs for elemental manifesting because we're working with elements and elementals. And that was absolutely amazing as well, because I know that one person was saying that they were feeling the energy of the crystals, and they were talking about how they were feeling the crystals coming in and how amazing that was. So it can be sent to a group as well. It doesn't have to be individuals, and I can hold the intention, you know, that it's going to be the crystals. And elemental manifesting is specifically around manifesting, so I can hold that intention of what is it that will help us in manifesting more easily, or that kind of stuff, what needs to be more in balance to be able to manifest more. So yeah, it is absolutely an incredible machine, and I feel so grateful to have one. They, at the time of recording this, they are on sale in the sense that you get a free upgrade, so you can actually save thousands of dollars right now. If that's something that you are called to, you can just reach out to me and we can talk about it. That ends on December 7th. 2020, in case you're watching this some year in the future. But if you would like to just have a session with it and experience it, you can reach out to me. I would love to do that. At the time of recording this, I do not have any information on my website regarding the Healy, but it is something that we can do in our sessions together in correlation with everything else that we do or on its own. But everybody that's in my membership group, or anybody who joins my membership group, also gets to experience it and have a free session with me. So that is also an option, and that is available right now. I don't know how long it's going to last into the future. So I feel like anything that goes on YouTube, I need to put a little disclaimer that if you're watching this some year in the future, that may not actually be how it's going to work. It may look a little bit different, but at this time of recording this, I am offering the free sessions to everybody in the membership group or as a part of becoming a member. So I will post all of the links below. You are welcome to reach out to me and ask if you have any questions. I would be happy to chat with you about it. I know that there's not a ton of information on the Healy, and so a lot of people are finding their information on YouTube. We learn from each other, so sharing each other's experiences, I think, is very important. So that's why I felt it was important for me to include this on my YouTube channel as well. So if you're new here, welcome. I do invite you to subscribe, give me a thumbs up on this video, leave a comment, you know, let's all support each other, that kind of thing. And you can share it out to others if you enjoyed it as well. Thank you, Natalie, for being my test subject today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I will see the rest of you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.